Alright, what's good, my gamers? Today we're going to be learning how to make traditional OG funk, rare funk, the good shit. I'm going to be going for a more of a Trapped in Japan type of vibe. If you don't know what that means, it should be a video on the card, like right now. I have historically liked to start with the tempo, I think. I'm not sure actually, but I'm going to start with the tempo this time because I find that if I start with the sample, I tend to gravitate towards that sample's tempo. And generally, this type of stuff is like slower, anywhere from like 90 to like 150, and the 150's pushing it a little bit. I've done stuff at like 170, 160, but like generally it's like really slow. I'm feeling like 115 maybe. Great. And I have some samples picked out here. I'm gonna see if one like catches my eye. Oh man, that was good. I'm gonna normalize it. Normalize it. Oh my god. Oh, this is so good. This is from a 3 6 Mafia song, but like, what was it sampled from? I have to know. Okay, so I'm gonna do this 1/2 step and 1/2 step. The term I like to use for when you like stretch out a sample and keep its pitch the same is it sounds really stretched and like strained, like. And so by pitching it down, because of how sound works, and you can like make things like lower really easily, but higher it sounds really screwy and not good. So I've just pitched it down a little bit. It should be fine. This is so good. It's so clean. I just need some chorus stat. It's so good. I'm gonna need some super massive though. I'm gonna have to do something with that. Okay, we're just gonna put a bunch of reverb on it. So I'm gonna start with an intro because I feel like that could be interesting, and generally the best funk songs I come across have like kind of interesting intros. That's perfect.
Penetrating into, but not beyond, the jugular vein. I diagnose the wounds as having been made by needle-sharp teeth. Punctures are clean cut, penetrating into, but not beyond, the jugular vein. I diagnose the wounds as having been made by needle-sharp teeth. Punctures are clean cut, penetrating into, but not beyond, the jugular vein. Diagnose the wounds as having been made by needle-sharp teeth. Punctures are clean cut, penetrating into, but not beyond, the jugular vein. All right, so that just made it sound like it's coming from a damn radio. That's about it. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of reverb on it. Like, this is a technique I like to use for reverb. With reverb, one of the things that a technique I really like to use is a really short but clean reverb. And if you don't have fruity reverb too,
you can honestly just trial and error. Look for a reverb plugin where it lets you go this short with it. Let me just show you. Where it lets you go this short. You'll just need to find one by trial and error. If you turn the wet all the way up, this is what it sounds like. If you don't have something that sounds like that, you're literally just gonna have to look for it. Okay, I'm feeling like something to do with gross beat here. So I'm just gonna put on a little funky little gross beat. So you can use gross beat for halftime, but I'm gonna use it for a fun little like vinyl stop effect. And so I'm going to trigger it using an automation clip. I've used this in the past a lot, but not as much lately. So this is what it sounds like. See, it doesn't actually change until the gross beat mix goes all the way up. So if we turn off this automation, it should just like do that constantly. Now I'm going to cut out all the low end, like here-ish. This is because it'll interfere with the bass and it'll make everything sound muddy. I like my my low end really clear. So now it sounds like this. It sounds less full, but we're gonna fix that. Okay, I'm gonna, yeah. I still really like the low end kind of stuff, so I'm boosting it there. This is a lot of work for one sample. It's a lot of like very subtle things, but you don't have to do it. Honestly, it's not even required. It's not even gonna matter. No one's gonna notice. So that was just for nothing, but I don't care because I thought it sounded good. So now I'm just gonna go here, and now we're gonna focus on the beat itself. So the first thing I like to do is hi-hats. I've been doing drill hats as of late, but this is 115. Very slow. We won't do that. Or this one. So yeah, for regular eighth note hi-hats, what I do 9 times out of 10 is I click until 4 of these show up and are not like grayed out, and then I just fill with 2 steps. It's that simple. Now you have a pretty basic hi-hat pattern. I usually don't do a lot with this. I find you can get like interesting high-end with Foley, which I will add later. This is just something to keep the beat like just really present in there. I'm gonna now find a snare. I'm feeling like maybe a clap with a ding or something like that. Oh, that's perfect, actually. I can pitch this up. So I don't like to use specifically one like snare kind of thing. I usually like to use multiple. So I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna take a more like traditional disco clap. Claps. Like this. And we're gonna finish it by using a fruity balance to make it louder. There's our clap. And then just for future, when I start making drum patterns, I'm gonna bring in another one of Jason Rich's snares. It's the popcorn snare. I'll be using these for snare rolls. This is gonna be less prominent in the mix. So I'm not too concerned about it right now, but we're gonna add it just in case. That's perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this like an 808. When the snare hits, it stops. And I think I'm going to compress it because there's like too much attack. So I'm going to use I'm not going to use OTT. I love OTT, but that's too extreme. I'm going to do this. Okay, here's where the snare rolls come in. There we go. Perfect. All this is to say, don't be too complicated about it. It just sounds good. No one really cares. Okay, now we move on to the kick. This is where I get really particular. So I'm putting a soft clipper on the master. If you want really clean, punchy drums, you put a soft clipper on the master. If someone tells you not to do that because it's incorrect, tell them they're fucking stupid because there are no rules in music. Anyway, let's pick out one. One I have to really recommend for pretty much every single funk genre, whether it's rare funk or drift funk or whatever, is the Night Dream sound drum kit. Look how many basses there are. 600. Do you like kicks? Because I sure do. 400 of them. Granted, a lot of them are very similar sounding, but there's a lot of stuff in there. So we're going to pick a kick. Yeah. I like this one. It's good enough. I'm not going to go too crazy with this. I might do some triplet stuff in here, but generally it's going to stay pretty it's pretty centered. The thing about the way I produce is I like to give my kicks a lot of space. So if you have a lot of kicks here, you're gonna want to put space in between where you put a lot of kicks here. And some people might space it out more evenly, but that's how I generally do it. One thing I sometimes do is make sure there is a kick on the first beat of every measure. So there's a kick here, there's a kick here, there's a kick here, and there's a kick here. Yeah, perfect. All right. 8-bar long kick pattern, and we just take this and go boop. One thing that can really determine the length of your 808 and whether it sounds like more bouncy and like short like this, or more smooth like this drill 808, is the sample and the drums. A lot of older funk has really elongated like drums, and so the 808s are naturally longer, but that doesn't mean that you have to use a shorter 808. A more traditional hip-hop producer might use something that sounds like this. This one's got a really interesting tone. Sounds like it's been being played through a tube. The first thing the 808s that I want to do is highlight all this, Control, click, and drag, Control C, Control V, and Control L. This is the first part, and I love sidechain, so that's going to be the second part. New channel. This is complicated, so if you want to do sidechain, this is exactly how I do it. I'm going to have 2 different mixer channels. One of them is going to be called sidechain trigger, or SCT, that's what I call it, just for speed, and SC, sidechain, right? You're going to link SCT to SC, turn this all the way down. You don't want to hear it. Now you're gonna get your favorite synthesizer. I use Vital, it's free. And you're gonna wanna make a preset that has all the attack and none of the sustain. It goes away almost immediately. You're gonna route this to whichever mixer track is called sidechain trigger. Now let's make the synthesizer patch, and it's very, very simple, and you'll get the hang of it really quick. I have one made already, but I'm gonna show you guys. So first, you're gonna want a sine wave. It's the most basic wavetable. It's one frequency, phase all the way down, attack, turn this all the way down. This will give it the most attack. I know it sounds very counterintuitive, but just bear with me here. Now we need to take this, the sustain, and just kind of ram it down here and do this. We're going to take our kick pattern that we already copied. We're going to paste it here, Control L. Every time the kick plays, this will also play. Now we go to sidechain. We go and take a fruity limiter, turn the ceiling all the way up. The sidechain is going to come from sidechain trigger, SET. Here's the thing I didn't understand with sidechain. You have to turn the threshold down at least some. If you do like this, nothing will happen. So you have to turn, I like really heavy sidechain, so I turn it almost all the way down. Then you need to turn the knee down or up to you. Knee down, ratio down. That should be good. And generally, when you do it with this setup, it's really elongated. So I like to turn the release down and the sustain down. Great. That sounds like a lot, but trust me, it'll be okay. So this is our sidechain trigger. You won't hear the little sound because we've turned this all the way down, but it will be doing something. It'll be like an audio trigger. This is what we call MIDI triggered sidechain. So now with our 808, we stop routing it from the master and route it to sidechain. One thing to keep in mind here is if the number of the mixer track is less than the sidechain trigger, for example, this is 10 and this is 11, you're gonna have to go into the fruity limiter and basically just reselect sidechain trigger because it'll select the previous one. So with sidechain, it's best to do it as soon as you get the bass, because then you'll have to route a bunch of stuff and you'll have to change it every single time. Now we have to find the key. You're gonna have to make sure with an 808 that it actually is sub bass, because this is too high. This is just right. So it may not be in the range of C5. It could be in C4, or you might have to go all the way down to like C2. You're gonna wanna make sure cut itself is on, and with the 808, the envelope is the most important part. Attack, you're gonna wanna make the shape look like this. Almost every producer should know this. One thing I hate is out-of-tune 808s. Entire tracks have been ruined by out-of-tune 808s, so a good idea is to push it an octave up and just find if it's in tune. As you can tell, I take a lot of time and effort in getting the right 808 and kick, so honestly, this isn't really as much effort as you need to put in. I just personally like to do this. Now it comes from my favorite part, slides. And we'll just do like a really crazy one, like. now we have to include everyone's favorite part, and that's the acapella. And again, I'm a big Jason Rich fan, so I'm gonna use stuff from his sample pack. Just gonna grab a random one like Gucci Gang.
Yeah. Oh. Gucci Gang. Oh. That's it right now, look, PHONK. Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. Gucci Gang racks on new chain. Yeah. My bitch love do cocaine. Ooh. I fuck a bitch, I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, I can fuck with this. Say what you will about how awful the song is, but it works. Hey, copyright. So pitching goes down. Only thing left, effects. For starters, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna reverse it. And I'm gonna have no snapping, and I'm just gonna put this here like this. It happens all the time, everybody does it. And we're gonna make this volume quieter so the actual like the punch of the kick isn't ruined. Now we just need fills. And so we're going to turn stretch on, none, and then perfect. And then we go here and just line it up. And that's our beat pretty much done. The preview will be like right now. I'll leave you guys to it. Hopefully you, I don't know, make Rare Funk because it's really cool. And I think everyone should listen to it. But yeah, here's the beat.
I diagnosed the wounds as having been made by needle sharp teeth, punctures and clean cuts, penetrating into, but not beyond, the jugular vein.